Hello, and welcome to Zap the Gender Pay Gap, the podcast series where we expose the elephant in the room. The elephant's name, the gender pay gap. I am coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee, located on the banks of the mighty Mississippi River. Nestled in the southwest corner of the state, Memphis is home to the blues, barbecue, and so much more. I am your host, Gwendolyn Tucker.
Thank you so very much for joining me for this episode of Zap the Gender Pay Gap. I am your host, Gwendolyn Tucker. If you listen to me on Apple, Spotify, Google, and YouTube, please do me a favor and like and subscribe. I'd be ever so grateful. You all, I had the most wonderful time in Nashville. I was there attending a conference for women in business. It is actually billed as the number one conference for women in business, and I can see why. Dr. Felicia Phillips founded MobileCon 8 years ago for the express purpose of showing women in business how to scale and grow their ventures. For the first 7 years, it was held in Atlanta, but in year eight, she brought it to Nashville. And boy, am I glad she did. Guess where we were? At the historic Gaylord Opryland Hotel. If you've been to the Gaylord, all I have to do is just say the name. I'm still floating on cloud nine from the experience. I bet you can't tell. Hats off to Dr. Felicia and her team for a job very well done. I had the chance to meet some amazing people, glean insights from awesome speakers, and laugh out loud at the comedy extravaganza. Those who know me know that when I get to laughing, it's hard to stop me. Those comedians, they were just too funny. I even met a woman with the same last name. We are trying to figure out if our husbands are related. I'm sure that we will eventually make a connection. I can hear you. Are you wondering what in the world this has to do with zapping the gender pay gap? Wait, let me tell you. One of the speakers, who had spent a number of years in corporate America, rose to the ranks of executive within human resources. And she now has her own business, and she gave us an alarming statistic. Can you guess what percent of women negotiate when it comes to pay? Did you say 50% or did you say 60%? No, a whopping 80% of women don't ask for more money when negotiating salary. She should know since she was involved in hiring and promoting during her career in corporate in human resources. One of the reasons she stated as to why women don't ask, in many ways, women have been socialized to settle. Instead of asking for more, we accept what is offered. We take what we get. Can you relate? Now, I am not pointing the finger because I have accepted a job and I did not negotiate or ask for more pay. There are a number of reasons why we don't ask. But you know what? If it keeps up, we will not have to wonder why, when it comes to pay, women keep getting left behind. You remember the book Left Behind, don't you? Written by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins, it was published in 1995 and was the title of the first book in what turned out to be a series with 16 books and 4 movies. You may have seen the movie or read one of the books from the series. It's a Christian fiction about the end times. Unfortunately, a series of the same title could be written about the plight of women in the workplace. Instead of the story being set on a Boeing 747 headed to London, it could be written about any workplace around the world where, without any warning, money mysteriously disappears from a woman's paycheck. The titles could be Left Behind, Still Left Behind, Left Farther Behind. I think you get the picture. But what if we could flip the script? I mean, literally, What if we could flip the script? What if instead of left behind, it becomes no woman left behind? Women are left behind, earning 82 cents compared to every dollar men earn. What would you prefer, 82 cents or the dollar? You don't have to ask me. You know I want the entire dollar. I don't want this elephant biting off any part of my payday, and definitely not 18% of it. I want to take home all of it. I think you would too. Now, it is true that for some women in the workplace, their pay gap is not 18%. For some, it is actually more. Now, for female managers, they earn 90 cents on the dollar or 17% less than male managers. Better, but not the best. According to a recent survey that I shared in a previous episode, women who are college graduates enter the workforce 6.5% behind men who are college graduates. Let that sink in. Out of college, women earn almost 7% less than men who are in their graduating class. What about you? How much is this elephant costing you? How much of your money is going up the elephant's snout that should be deposited into your bank account? When was the last time you got a 10% raise? Or what about a 7% raise? Both of those sound pretty good to me. How does that sound to you? Would having more money than mom help alleviate some of your stress and pressure? Do I hear a resounding yes? I thought so. Speaking of raises, according to a recent article in the Memphis Business Journal, although the job market has softened, companies are still budgeting strong raises for 2024. That sounds like good news to me. The writer goes on to say, the battle for talent is not as intense as it was in 2022, but experts say many workers are planning to ask for raises. What about you? When it comes time for your salary review, will you get left behind or will you be one getting a raise? Speaking of getting a raise, I am opening up 3 new one-on-one coaching slots to show women in the workplace how to raise their pay in the next 90 days so that they don't keep getting left behind. Message me back if you're interested in hearing more. Go to gwendolynjtucker.com and just click on contact. I will also put a link in the show notes to this episode. Just check out the description box on how you can reach me at gwendolynjtucker.com. Women, you work hard for your money. Let me show you how to take home all of it. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Please join me next time when I disclose some of the mistakes women make when it comes to getting a raise. You don't want to miss it. See you here next Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time for the next episode of Zap, the Gender Pay Gap. Until then, please be well.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Zap, the Gender Pay Gap. Please rate, review, and subscribe to or follow me wherever you get your favorite podcast. I am your host, Gwendolyn Tucker. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time.